Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Podcastjuice here on podcastjuice.net. This is the podcast on Prince. My name is Michael Dean, and joining me today, we have two special guests. I almost feel like they're on here a lot. We talk about the PRN alumni quite a bit, which we should, and we appreciate them. But joining us today is Jackie Thompson. How are you, Jackie?
I'm good. How are you, Michael?
Doing excellent. Thank you for asking. And also joining us is Mr. Craig Lawrence Rice. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great,
All right. Well, we bi-coastal today. Jackie, I think, was in the Cali, I think LA area possibly. Craig in Minnesota over there. And
I'm in the third coast.
They're in the third coast. All right. So we're doing it like that today, but we are here to talk about the PRN alumni, specifically Alumni Shares. This is a new thing. I know for me, when I've been hosting some of the online events for the PRN alumni, I always get people asking me after the fact, like, how can I see, or how do I get to view some of their panels and things that I'm not able to physically go and see for myself? And you guys have come up with a solution for that, right? The alumnishares.org. And I'm going to go to Jackie first. Jackie, can you tell us a little bit about what this is?
Well, yeah, actually, moving forward, it'll be housed on our prnalumni.org, and you can get there to register. And basically, it gives a portal and a basic vault of all of our discussions and panels that we've had, and we're starting to create new ones moving forward. So it's where all those will be housed, because not everybody can actually, go to all of the, fly into Minneapolis, have the money to do it. And this gives an opportunity to donate to the foundation and access, really interesting discussions, revolving around Prince and Paisley Park and the things that they experienced. So
and that's not limited to Minneapolis. You guys are like international with this, because you've had events this year overseas in London and different things of that nature. So I would imagine those things at some point could find their way here too. But going to Craig, what are some of your thoughts on the panels?
I mean, I think that as what Jackie was saying, it's talking about sort of the stories of in and around working with Prince, but it's also, there are really lessons in there for people who want to go into fields like recording engineering, like design, management, things like that, because what we all sort of grew and learned together, and we applied what we learned in the discussions that we do, and also ultimately and working with Prince on these creative processes that you find out sort of, I don't want to call them tricks of the trade, but that's, to a certain extent, that's what they are. So I think that's another reason that people should tap into these things, because everybody that we bring in is a professional in their field and continue to go on long after they either were no longer working with Prince or before Prince passed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask this question, and I'm looking at the site. It's a beautiful website. I see the video with Dave Hampton, Scotty, and Sasha Lang, among others. But let's say I am a person, I'm a creative, I want to be an artist, or maybe I want to be in some sort of creative field. To me, looking at this would be like, let me go and watch this so that I can understand what it takes to sort of really operate at a very high level, and what does it take to be around, such an iconic person like Prince. I mean, what are some of the things that people can learn from watching these things?
Well, if I could chime in, we choose panels. There's so many topics to talk about, because there are so many layers of making business and entertainment business work. And Prince was obviously the head of it in Paisley. But we did panels in April at the University of Minnesota, and that was an overview panel of different walks of their careers, from security to as you said, Dave Hampton in the audio, and Entertainment Maite and Kim, doing hair and those type of things. But when we get into our actual benefit events that we did, perfect example, like Funk and Roll weekend we just did in October, there were 3 panels, and they're really specific to that area. So they're going to be on there talking specifically. So perfect example would be about the audio. The songs and the studio sessions and what it really takes, and it delves into that world a bit, and then there's hair and fashion and with the how to create iconic looks for people, and we also had her story, which is really talking overview from a women's perspective. So there are real specific panels for specific parts. So, and we're going to continue to do that in different areas from, the graphic design. We'll have panels that, it can go on and on. So yeah, you get to, hear from the top in their field talking about, Prince is the silver lining of it all. But it is really about, their experiences and how they were able to navigate through, working with an artist like that. So.
All right, and then
I think that
I
think one of the things I'm sorry, I was going to say, Michael. One of the things that also is that it would help somebody understand what it takes to get to the level, to a major level, but also how to sustain it. That's one of the things that people sometimes don't understand about Prince and Paisley Park specifically, is that part of our job was sustaining Prince's career and continuing to have it grow. So we talk a lot about that, because that was always the challenge in the entertainment business, to keep artists relevant, keep them in front of people's mind, or top of mind, to get the records out there, to how to do videos, how to put them out there, how to do promotion, publicity. That's really the stuff that you don't get from a lot of other conversations about artists. That's what we did. Prince was, again, like Jackie said, he was sort of the creative, brain for it, but we were the ones that ultimately did all that.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So, this is very interesting, because, you're talking about, obviously we'll think of Prince first, but, as you're saying, there are so many other pieces to that, puzzle, what makes that operate the way it does, and to sort of learn, what does it take to but to have Prince to be able to just have the freedom to just sort of focus on what he wants to focus on. And then, everyone sort of has their role in this organization. Is it fair to say that you can sort of learn some sort of organizational type of insight as well, in terms of, I'm just thinking of other things that you can apply some of the knowledge and stories that are shared. Say I just want to start a company and I have a team of people that I want to work with. Is that something else I can also glean, some understanding of maybe team-based, organization skills?
Yeah, I think that we talk, because, it's interesting, because when we get together, it's like, we consider ourselves a family, because everything that we did collectively with other people, because each of us had sort of our own expertise. It's like, it's almost like a war movie with an army unit, like the Dirty Dozen, where everybody has their specific skills, and we all learn. And so if Prince would say that to one of us, this is what I want to do, then our job was to go to the people in and around and say, okay, this is what we need to do. Now, what can we do to make this happen? And so you start using the expertise of everybody that's around you. Like, for example, Jackie has a lot more record distribution knowledge than I do, so that she could come in and offer to that. And Karen Lee can do more of the PR, because that's her personality and her expertise. And, there's obviously engineers that say, he wants to do this, but I don't know how we're going to do this. And you would have these conversations. So it is about organization. It's about understanding creative collaboration is the key to what made us successful, or made Paisley Park successful.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I sometimes I feel like I'm talking to the Prince fan who's already aware of a lot of these things, but I understand a lot of people listen to this show and don't know. Can you give just a very quick overview of yourselves? Jackie, can you explain a little bit of your relationship with Prince and Paisley Park?
Sure. Just an overview. Came in 96 through 2000 and was there during the time when he didn't have a record label. In the sense of the traditional way, we really were on the grassroots ground floor, and we created our own distribution. So I was part of that with him. So I worked with MPG Records and helped create that. Worked in the Crystal Ball and all of the New Power Soul. I worked with Rave onto the Joy Fantastic album, which was a collaboration with Arista. And also did, a lot of visuals with him. I started to work in the visual side of it with him and help produce a bunch of that. So that was my collective time, along with, we had a very small staff, so you wore a lot of different hats when you needed to. So, when Craig was saying about different things, you kind of all worked together to collectively kind of get to the goal of what he needed. So we all worked together, but those were my roles and really helping move Paisley forward during that time when it was very short-staffed and small unit.
Awesome.
Right. And I came in, with Purple Rain, the movie. I was one of the directors on the film, and then I ended up working with him on the tour, the Purple Rain tour, as a road manager. And then during that period of time, or when I was kind of coming to an end, he really was talking about wanted to start a record label, Paisley Park Records. Maserati, who I managed, was the first group on the label. Did that for a number of years, and then when Paisley Park, the physical place, was built, he wanted me to come in and sort of run that place. So I did that for a number of years, and then from there we built the Paisley Park Enterprises, which is the major corporation that houses all his other entities, and really tried to build that, and built the Glam Slam, the clubs, and around in America and in Japan. And we were over there for a number of years, and then after that period of time, I ended up stepping away and worked with him only basically by phone. When he wanted to, we were talking about getting his doctorate. Worked on that. He had wanted to get to China. Unfortunately, he didn't make that because it takes a long time to get to China to get approved. But that was kind of the involvement for me near the end. But it was much more of an amicable leave. I never stopped reaching out to him or talking to him, and I just stopped working for him specifically.
All right. Now, how can, as we like to say, how can I be down? How do I get the alumni shares? What do I need to do to get into that so I can see it?
Sure. Yeah. So all you have to do is go to PRN, Prince Roger Nelson, alumni.org. And at the top, there's Alumni Shares tab. Just click on that, and you'll be right in that world. And it'll give you opportunity to register, and you'll have access. And we'll be adding more content and more content and more content as 2019 rolls in. Right now, we have up there the panels in April, and we are working on the October panels, which were fabulous. From Rhonda Smith to Gail, I was going to say Gail Mitchell.
Chapman.
Thank you, Gail Chapman. I just had and Peggy McCrary. Tom Greneau, just an amazing, overview group of people that are just interesting that you don't hear from a lot. So we'll be cutting those up, and those will be up there as well coming up. So it's a great portal for that.
All right. And it says donation. Is this a one-time donation, or is it a monthly thing? How does that work?
We will be ending up doing a membership-based as we grow. But our first one, you donate, and it's a la carte. So in the beginning. So it'll be, if you wanted to see, right now there's just one up there. So you'd go up and you'd see all the U of M panel discussion there. But you'll have access to it when we upload to the next. There'll be, so you want to keep coming back. And then we're going to really create a membership-based portal with it upcoming. So that's the next step of it. So we're gradually growing into that. Yep.
And also, I'd be remiss not to mention, you guys have been putting out some very great T-shirts and merchandise recently.
Yes.
You have the Rosie one, which I know everyone has been rocking by Steve Park, but there's some new ones too that you guys have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we have a new Rosie shirt by Blue. I hope that's how you pronounce her name, from Australia. She's an amazing artist. So that is watercolor. It's really cool. And we have one. I'm glad you mentioned it. We are about to launch Troy Guas. Shirt. Yeah, that's coming this week. So it'll be available. It's such a sweet shirt. Oh, my God. And, such a great artist, as you know, Michael. So we're really excited about that. So, and we got some other fun stuff coming. So we'll keep it coming.
All right. And before we wrap this up, I mean, we're coming to the end of 2018. What was 2018 like for the PRN alumni?
It's been amazing. I mean, it's really our first year. We are right now, December 15th, we got our nonprofit status official in 2017. So we are just at our first year. So we're really proud of what we've done. We've been overseas, as you said. We went over to London. We want to continue to grow and bring it around the world and bring Paisley to, discussions around the world. Coming up and growing. We did that October event with Maceo Parker and Candy Dulfer, which was amazing. Such a great weekend. Bowling with the fans, and then of course the panels we were talking about. But so we're just really going to keep growing and build and build. We'll have some fun, amazing things coming up next year as we grow, and we're going to keep expanding. So.
All right. And Mr. Rice, I see things online. Talk to me a little bit about the Maserati. It sounds like things are gearing up with the band there.
Yeah, we are. We actually did a performance here in Minneapolis several weeks ago, and it's kind of I call it's a retooling of Maserati. So it's different versions of Maserati over the years. So it's not, people think there was just one Maserati, which was the first one, which was kind of the major kind of emphasis. But we actually brought in, Mickey Free, who was with Shalimar, was originally in the group, but then couldn't get released. So unfortunately had to step out. So he's now in the new one. Mark Brown, who started Maserati, now is in Maserati as the bass player. We have Greg Sane in the band, who was in the third version of Maserati that was on Motown. Tony Christian and Craig Paul are still in the Maserati. They were from the first group, and then some members that were brought in from the fourth version of Maserati. So it's a kind of a combination of all of them, and it's a great unit. I mean, everybody can play and everybody can sing, so it's kind of interesting to see this group kind of transition. So we're actually right now looking to start touring in April through the summer into September. So that's what the plan is now.
Nice. We're going to start calling them Maserati on Dayton's. Like they got big wheels now.
Exactly.
All right. Well, any last things that I may be slipping my mind? We want to make sure that we get out about the PRN alumni. That we cover everything.
I think we covered everything. I mean, it's just, supporting and any, just a reminder that when you buy a T-shirt, it does go towards that. It's just not buying a T-shirt. You're doing good things for kids. And that's what the ultimate goal. Our inspiration is Prince, but the ultimate goal is our mission, which is to help kids in arts programs, be it, music, whatever, creative, flow, tech, and also urban farming. I mean, Prince was a avid, really into what you put in your body. So, food and organic and all that. So we wanted to keep that going. It's really a part of a healthy a lifestyle for kids. So you've got the creative side, you've got good food, and it creates you hope a great person, and generations to come. So that's really the key about it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to talk about the panels and to hear about Prince and all that, but there's a underlining message there that is really, really about the mission, keeping his mission going, and really at the end of the day, helping people.
All right. Well, there you go. We want to thank Jackie and Mr. Craig for coming on and blessing us again. We definitely appreciate you guys. Again, shout out to the prnalumni.org. You can get all your information there and sign up, check those guys out. Definitely great work. So we really respect that. And listen, we thank you all the listeners for joining us as always. And my name is Michael Dean, Podcast Juice. You already know, work it like a job. Let's go.